Hello, everyone. Yes, that's me, painting blindfolded. It's Shiloh Sophia here, and I want to offer a talk on devotion to your beingness. But first, I'm inviting you to take a look as I paint blindfolded while my husband Jonathan plays the drum. And then I'm going to share with you what I believe about us and our capacity as humans, and then complete with a really significant stroke in the world of intentional creativity where you acknowledge your own beingness. You make a mark after which everything is different. Feeling. What do you notice? I believe that every single one of you can have greater access to your own consciousness, your own internal seeing, your own internal speaking, and the way that that manifests in your life through your behaviors and the way that you think about things in the world. I believe that we do not have to be at the mercy of who we've been being, which is a summation of stories and experiences that have shaped our identity largely unconsciously. I believe that at a certain point in a person's life, you actually get to choose to step into who you are and who you're becoming. Because if you haven't been who you are, you honestly don't know who you're becoming. You need to spend some time being with who you are or who you think you might be, getting conscious about how to inhabit yourself in order to figure out and explore who you might be being that you haven't been able to be. This is the most missing piece in our spiritual and academic education, is the awareness that you are a conscious author of the narrative and the vision that is arising for you. And we have not been trained to do this. And here at Musea, University, that's what we're about. you inhabiting you, and having a brave space to explore and be a little messy sometimes about you haven't been being this being. And maybe you are in some places and you're not in others. You are with your lover, but not with your mother. You are with your friend, but not with your child. But the identity that we're most interested in here and having revealed is the one that is connected deepest to whoever you are as a soul, and whatever that even means. The truest you that could possibly ever be, that being. It takes practice to embody this change. It doesn't actually mean that life gets easier. But what it does mean is your relationship to life is a collaboration with who you are instead of just being at the mercy of everything that's happening to you. There's what happens, and then there's what you make it mean. And almost every single part of our life is designed on not what happened, but what we made it mean. So if you are not in charge of making the meaning, then you are not in charge of your seeing, your listening, and ultimately your being. I am not saying this is easy, but I am saying it's worth it. And in essence, we're working out on a canvas. Brain, heart, body, and identity repatterning. Because this isn't a concept. You actually have to do something in matter for this change to become real. For you to hear your own voice as your own voice above the voices of others. For you to see your own image instead of the images served up by who knows what memory or system or media. And to begin to truly feel how you feel and not cut yourself off from the intimacy with yourself. And then being willing to practice this identity, even if it's messy, with others in your life and with us, to experiment with inhabiting identity. I've been having an experience lately with someone that I love very much, and there's behaviors that I want to move into that seem like the right thing to do based on the circumstance, but every single time I just keep coming back to what is my absolute core truth. And it's that I love them. And so I'm going to just be consistent with that, even if that means I get hurt. And this is where we start in our lives to sort of armor up and resist and to separate off because we think we should do something because the other person's being like this. But this is me to keep loving through the hard spaces. When I was a little kid, if my mom and I would get in a fight, I would try to pout and I would last for 3 minutes and then I would just run and grab her legs and be like, I'm sorry, I don't care, I'll do anything. I don't have an ego around that. I'm willing to be a fool for love. That's me. I don't want to change that, even if it's a good idea. But that's not easy. But I have to be true to me because I know that's me. And so even if I get more hurt, I'm willing. And I trust that as time unfolds, being more myself is always the best choice, even if it hurts. But that's a decision, right? That's a decision that I'm making. And I want you to make decisions for yourself where you become more and more you and be willing to be uncomfortable in the in-betweens as you explore what does it feel like when she says this and you don't react, or when he says this and you don't hide, when something happens at work and you just look at it a different way, that you start to shift your default patterns. You use intentional creativity as a pattern interrupt where you're just like, wow, I don't actually have to go there. I have choice, I have authorship, I have sovereignty. And for some people that may be, for me, it's just keep feeling love. But for some people that might be pure anger that they've never allowed themselves to feel. Try not to blow anybody out here with temper tantrums in your life, because that sometimes happens too. Like there's something that starts to happen in intentional creativity where everybody around you in your family and love relationship starts to look a little bit strange because you've been in an altered space. So be careful if anger is what arises for you. There's nothing wrong with anger. It's just in how we express it that we need to be careful of. So inviting you into your own rhythm means confronting the ways that you haven't been being true to yourself. And it's hard work, y'all, but it is fun too, because it gives you a capacity to navigate what's happening. Painting is the way that we're working with the material, but the course is ultimately about this conversation, and then we back it up with art. So now we're going to make a mark, a big, old, juicy, wet mark on the canvas. And this mark is a willingness to be devoted to your own being. And I mean devoted. What does it mean to be devoted to your own being? We are devoted sometimes to activism, to our relationship with Creator, to our love relationship, to our child, to our lover, to our parents, devoted to sometimes playing piano or, studying linguistics or being in a team. Like there's lots of things we've been devoted to, but have you been devoted to your own being? There's a soul inside of you that's expressing itself as you. We want to let that soul be revealed. And so as we make this giant stroke on the canvas with eyes open and ears open, but non-dominance, you could switch to your non-dominant hand if you want. The stroke says to your entire beingness, the whole that is you, that is you, that is you in every dimension of beingness, the ones you're conscious of and the ones you're not. It is a declaration of devotion to yourself. As you make this stroke, you're putting every part of you into the awareness that you're going to be devoted to your own beingness. This is one of the most powerful things you could possibly ever do in your entire life on your own behalf, which allows you to begin to reveal the great work that is within you. This is the beginning of that revealing.